Hey guys, I'm here with my dad, and we're going to take delivery of a brand new Tesla Model S for him, upgrading to AI4. And we're going to take FSD 13.2 to the delivery center, see what he thinks. It's about an hour drive, 40 miles. So we got the address of the new Tesla North Hollywood delivery center here. To get started, all we do is just press the FSD button, and the car will start reversing out of the garage.
Very nice. It's doing a good job, Omar.
So far, so good.
Is it gonna do a 3.2?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's new.
Alright, and we can close the garage.
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow. Really, really nice. Oh, it avoided going over the grass. So maybe it's gonna... Oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah, I did drive on the grass a little bit there.
Yeah. There goes my sprinkler head. Oh, it's funny. It's gonna make a left turn. That's nice too. Smart car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is something I'm not happy about, that I had to sell my Model 3, which was only...
Your Model S.
Model S, sorry, which was only like less than 2 years old. And I took a big haircut on the price just because they're not supporting this on Hardware 3, and I want it.
Well, they are eventually going to bring it to Hardware 3,
Yeah.
but it won't be as good.
That's what I'm saying. They should have done it. I hope they'll do free upgrade to this, because not everybody can afford to lose this much money in less than 2 years. So...
Yeah, I mean, the older cars are going to continue to get updated.
But my Tesla stocks are doing well, so I guess in the bigger picture, I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, well, I think they still haven't released V13 for Model S and X yet, but hopefully they'll sound it out soon. If you have AI4, you'll definitely get it sooner.
That's what I'm hoping, that they will send that to Model S's and X's. S at least. That's what I want.
Right.
You think my car is going to come preloaded with 12.5.4?
Probably. Hopefully it's not the one with the nag. When Alexis and Hannah took delivery, it came with the old one with the nag.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, I hope they... This is what we're talking about. December. That was way early on. That was like...
That was last month.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Alexis?
Yeah, and Hannah.
Oh, Hannah too?
Yeah, both
Wow.
of them.
And those were Model 3.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's not good.
Well, we'll see what it has on it. Hopefully it at least has FSD 12.5, which is much better on Hardware 4 too.
Yep.
So you can see there's now a hurry mode on city streets. You can tell it to hurry. It's really handy for situations where you don't want to waste time.
Yeah. What's the other two modes? Chill and what?
Standard.
Standard. Chill is the lowest, or the standard is the lowest?
Chill is slow.
Chill is slow. You can't chill in LA. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are going to be screaming at you. So hurry is the way. Hurry is actually normal in LA.
Yeah.
LA should be hurrying up. They should have
Right.
2 more levels for LA. Hurry and, you know.
So basically, you would not be upgrading your car except you want to run the latest FSD.
Yeah, exactly. I want the latest FSD. Hardware 4 is where they're going now. I know that they might eventually give a compressed model on hardware 3, but I don't want that. We saw that when you had it and I had it. Mine was still not as good. So while I felt that was unfair, and but I understand it's still in the development process, and the decision is not to be made yet because situation is still fluid as to where all this ends up. I mean, who knows? 2 years from now, hardware 4 might be not enough, right? So this is a cost of trying to be on the cutting edge technology sometimes, and I'm okay, man, as long as I get to try it out, the latest ones, and I'm not always like frozen at 12.5 or whatever.
Yeah, the latest ones are dramatically better. The smoothness on this is just, it's just so nice just driving to pick you up, and I didn't touch it once from my driveway into yours.
Tesla hasn't done a refresh on Model S. Do you know when they might be doing that?
No, I mean, I imagine it's not the highest priority. They've got so many other things that are more important to the company.
What would they add if they would add something?
Maybe the ambient lights like this car has. Things like that.
Yeah, ambient lights is the only thing. Because they have the back screen and all of that, right? Anyway.
Well, what they really need to do is take it to the next level above and beyond what the 3 and Y have.
Yeah.
I would love to see them give the S and X more attention because they're actually really good cars. Model S is the only one that can do 400 miles. They've just got, they're really fun to drive, much more spacious.
But also, remember that Mercedes and BMW, I was driving Mercedes yesterday because I sold my Model S. It's so much comfortable compared to, S still feels a little bit of, sporty ride and like a lighter vehicle. Mercedes EQS felt more like a luxury ride, comfort, the shock absorbers and everything way better. So I think for them to dominate that market, which is the higher end market, where they're now competing with EQS or higher end cars from BMW and others, they need to pay attention to luxury on the interior side, the seats, the shock absorbers, the cushions, the ambience on the inside, all of that, LED lights and everything else. So that's what most people get attracted to, not necessarily FSD. FSD is then a plus, of course, but first they want to sit down and drive and feel like, they are driving a luxury car. And Mercedes, outside of US, Mercedes and BMWs are primarily popular because most people who can afford those cars have a driver. And so they have made the back seat the primary seat of the owner as compared to the driver's seat. So their comfort level, seat quality of the leather and everything else is significantly better even on the back seat. And then all back seats are ventilated and heated and all of that. So if somebody in Dubai is buying a Model S, he's gonna have his driver drive it, and he's gonna sit in the back seat. And Model S back seat is not something that guy feels, enjoys the ride in because it's not that comfortable as compared to some of these items. So maybe that would be the refresh, is really, and it could be another flavor within Model S, maybe the L flavor, which has all those super luxury features or finishes.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be good to improve the ride and handling to beat and exceed, others in the market like the EQS. but it just seems like it's not getting much attention from them. On one hand, you have the Cybertruck. On the other hand, you have the Model 3 and Y. Very few people are buying the Model S and X now.
Because for the price, you look at Mercedes, you look at BMW, you get better cars, almost same range. And I have to say that the range on EQS is a lot more accurate than on my Model S. So for the same exact two drives, the percentage of the battery that reduces on EQS was less than on Model S. Model S, says it's going to go 400 miles, but sometimes depending on the road conditions, all of this stuff, you may not even get 300 out of it. But EQS, what I've seen is they show only 350 or 340, but it actually exceeds that often. So they seem to have taken a conservative approach on the range.
Well, the EQS has a much larger battery pack.
It does.
But it's much less efficient.
Yeah, no, we have had no issues with efficiency in the sense like when it says it's going to go 150 miles, it goes 150 miles.
Well, that's like, range.
Yeah.
Efficiency is how much electricity it uses per mile.
Correct. It uses obviously more. That's why the battery pack is bigger.
Mm-hmm.
The range is still 50 miles less.
But then why didn't you get an EQS instead of a Model S?
Oh, because for several reasons. One, of course, FSD is the primary reason that I get Model S. And the second reason is that I have been, Tesla supporter since 2012. And I feel, in order to have them get to the finish line, I need to continue giving my feedback on these drives and the car improvements and everything else. So I feel like somehow participating in this whole development of self-driving cars, even though my name's not necessarily going to be on some Wikipedia out there, but essentially that's how innovations are happening now, which is through crowd participation. We all have to do our part for technologies to thrive.
Yeah, I just think about it as just being such a nicer experience. Like, that's the ultimate luxury, is just sitting here and not having to do anything. You could find a multi-million-dollar car or a six-figure car, the most expensive Lamborghini or Ferrari or Rolls-Royce, and they don't have this feature that you can get on a $30,000 Tesla.
True. And let's not also forget that over-the-air updates and their integration with third-party apps, Apple Music, Spotify, and Netflix is in there. So those are not, and the whole UI, is just intuitive and much easier to use. Even a child can use it.
Yeah, the whole software experience, the holiday update, they always are putting so many useful features into the car.
Correct.
That's definitely something I'd miss.
We have had EQS for 6 months now. There's been no over-the-air update, not a single.
Right.
And I don't even know how it happens. Right. I'm pretty sure it may never get an over-the-air update. That's the difference. As compared to Tesla, within the last 6 months, got at least 6 over-the-air updates.
Right.
And we're not talking about just bug fixes, significant enhancements.
Right. Improvements to the self-driving, new features.
Exactly. I love the Apple Watch integration.
Yeah, the Apple Watch, that's really nice. You can use it as a key now.
Yeah.
Just drive your car without even bringing your phone.
the summon improvement was a milestone. We did that video together, remember that? Parking lot at the grocery store. Yeah, I still get people talking about that, saying, wow, that was something. And that was what, about 4 months ago, maybe? We went out and...
Yeah, maybe less. A few months ago.
Yeah, it was way before Thanksgiving. It was, yeah. It was awesome. And, you know, I think now that I am seeing some of the videos that you're posting, parking spot to parking spot, that's about it. I mean, what else do you need?
Right.
You don't technically even need a parking spot if you have self-driving cars. You
Yeah.
just need a point to, you need a pickup and drop-off spots.
Yeah, it just needs to pull over. So, you know, they're even going further than Waymo's going in a sense, allowing you to park, unpark.
Yeah.
Anything the car can do. What do you think of the drive so far?
Very human-like. I'm so happy to see that it's actually not getting false readings from those truck speed signs. 3 of them we passed so far, and it correctly ignored them. My Model S doesn't do that yet. That's a little annoying for me.
Yeah.
But this one seems
That's
to
been
have
a big
figured
issue.
out. Yeah. So the other thing I've noticed is that it's not driving like your grandma. The speed is very much like I would drive at that speed when I'm self-driving. So that was also very frustrating sometimes, even for the passengers, right?
Yeah.
The other day we were going somewhere, we were going to the airport, and your mom said, you know, why are you driving slow? I said, well, I'm not driving, FSD is on. Yeah. Then she said, okay, why is FSD driving slow? I said, that I don't know. But it chooses to, you know, be cautious.
Well, you can
whatever.
press the accelerator for now and make it go faster.
True.
But yeah, this is much better.
But
It gets up to speed more quickly.
Yeah. Funny thing is that even though we know we can do a lot of things, we can press the accelerator, we can, you know, increase the speed with the scroll wheel, we can take over, you know, all of that. But the tendency seems to be, and maybe it's a mental state. Once I hit that button, it's a FSD, I just want to sit there like a passenger and enjoy the ride.
Right.
I don't want to be it's like telling the driver what to do, you know, constantly. So I just want to trust its abilities and give it space and just watch it go slow, whatever it's doing, you know, eventually figure out that it's going slow and then speed up a little bit. But, you know, obviously they taken the feedback into consideration. I can see now we haven't been, you know, driving slow at all. We've been going with the traffic.
The perfect speed.
Yeah. You
Not
can't go
too
any
fast,
faster
not
here.
too slow. And I haven't touched anything and pressed the accelerator.
I don't think I think we're past that point that we have to say I haven't touched anything, because I feel we're at a point now where we have to say I haven't had any
Uncomfortable moments.
or actually uncomfortable is also, you know, person to person, right? Some person might be uncomfortable, but the car is very comfortable. It's made a very calculated, good decision. But you may not be comfortable. But I think it's more like any dangerous situations where you had to interrupt or life-threatening. Because now, even on my Model S, which is one, you know, 12.5, I don't touch anything from point to point, you know, just like you, and V13 is significantly better. So touching is like now for sure optional. I think it's more like, will it make any stupid mistake where if you would not have taken over, there would have been a fender bender or some kind of you know, uncomfortable situation. Somebody could have gotten hit, car could have gotten scratched, any of those. So that I'm seeing zero situations like that. It does sometimes, maybe it might, have an edge case where it doesn't know how to, handle it. Like on my Model S, if it hits a dead end, it doesn't know how to do a 3-point turn yet. But now your car can do 3-point.
Yep.
So it's a completely different. So they should handle that.
Yeah, the FSD 13 has fixed a lot of things. It's pretty difficult to find something that requires a takeover now, especially safety critical issues. They're pretty rare.
What's the ETA on their self-driving cybercab? I mean, are they saying next year or year after?
2026.
So they want to wait another 12 months. I think they're ready to go. I mean, this car drives way better than Waymo. And yes, Waymo has drivers on the back watching it, willing to take over. Tesla doesn't have anybody. When
They have me in the driver's seat.
Yeah, but you haven't been hired by them. You haven't got through the background check and all of those stuff, right? You haven't gone through the training. So there's all kinds of people sitting in the seat that they're trusting. Their confidence level is significantly higher than the confidence level of Waymo, where they have their staff, watching it.
Well, Waymo is very reliable.
In what sense?
When you get in a Waymo ride, you're not going to see it have any safety critical issues. It's just extremely rare.
Well, Cruise didn't have that either. And I've taken on rides on Cruise. And look what happened to Cruise.
Right.
So...
Well, they lied to the regulator, so...
That's after the fact.
Yeah.
But the fact is that Cruise handled the situation, very much like a human being would have handled, right? Maybe. But the fact is that it's because of self-driving, it got into trouble. So similar situation can happen with Waymo too. And next thing they could be losing their privileges to drive in California. But Waymo seems to be definitely better than Cruise, but I don't know.
Cruise is dead now.
Well, what Cruise was back then. Remember 2 years ago when I took the ride?
Mm-hmm.
It was the same as Waymo.
Yeah.
There was no difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, Waymo was, better. Cruise was definitely making more mistakes.
It was?
Yeah.
I can't believe they killed it, though. They could have improved it.
Yeah, General Motors isn't very smart. Well, they're basically pivoting to Tesla's strategy. They're saying we want to make a personal autonomous vehicle. Your own car should be able to run self-driving software. But it's like, what is the chance they're going to be able to integrate Cruise's technology into the car with all that hardware Cruise had on their vehicles?
I have a feeling they're counting on Tesla to get done, which they know they're very close to the finish line, and they're all going to license the technology. Tesla is going to be like Qualcomm, where Qualcomm no longer makes cell phones, but all the cell phones have Qualcomm chips. That's what I see. I see a huge licensing deals with all of these, and they know that if they start now, it'll take them 10 years. So, but Tesla is at the finish line in less than 2 years now. So, hey, let's just start negotiations with Elon Musk and have them give their technology to us. And the way Tesla's done it, it's so easy. All they have to put is cameras, right?
Right.
And no LiDAR, nothing. So I totally see why they did it, because it makes complete sense. To even Waymo might abandon all of their stuff because the cost of maintenance of LiDAR and everything else, and the possibility of things going wrong are higher because so many more points of failure. So even they might at some point in time say,
Right.
We're gonna go license Tesla's thing.
So that was good how it avoided the 405 south on ramp.
Mm-hmm.
That can be kind of confusing for the softer sometimes.
Yeah.
So it got onto the 405 north correctly. And then this is where it really shines, where I think you're going to see the biggest improvement compared to your car is how well it does on the highway.
Really?
Yeah, with the
Because
new
end to end.
yeah, the new end-to-end on the highway is really good.
What's the what's your prediction on 2026? So if they have Cybercab on 2026, do you believe that that's what they're gonna do? They're gonna do Cybercab, which is similar.
They're going to do Model 3 and Y first.
Correct. No, I'm saying I'm talking about Cybercab, but at the same time, will they also sell Cybercab to ordinary citizens?
Yeah, they said they're going to do
Unlike Waymo, which doesn't sell Waymo to.
Yeah, they're going to sell it for $25,000.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's after tax breaks and everything.
No, before.
There's no way.
Why? It's a really simple vehicle.
Still not possible.
Why?
Because there's there's computers and cameras and motors and liability now that they have to assume. So, their insurance will be probably $5,000 per car.
That's different. We're talking about the cost to buy the vehicle.
I understand, but I think it'll be more like 35 range.
They already said it's going to be 25.
Yeah, Tesla says that, but they don't always necessarily deliver on that value. They did that with Cybertruck, Model S, many cars, but I understand they'll have a flavor of that car that they'll say, for now we have this flavor, later on we're going to have that flavor, which will be 25. You don't make money at all at 25 or more in any car now. Cars are any car.
Well, they're not making money selling the car. They're making money on the rideshare service. You just want the car to be as low cost as possible. They've come up with a whole new manufacturing process. Their entire focus is making it as cheap as possible.
But are you saying that Tesla is going to make money by competing with Uber?
Yes.
But what's Uber's revenue right now?
Billions of dollars.
But nothing compared to Tesla's revenue.
I don't know. It's a pretty big company.
And they have human drivers. So that goes away. More profit. Either rides are going to get cheaper or you're going to have better margins.
Let's see. Let's ask. What were Uber's gross bookings last year in 2023?
As of my last update in October 2023, Uber reported that its gross bookings for the full year 2022 were about $115 billion. They haven't
$115 million in bookings.
And what? 8% margin?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Wow, 115 billion. Wow.
Mhm. That was in 2022.
Today is probably 180.
Yeah, 150 at least, maybe, I don't know. And then, at a lower cost, we're probably talking about $1 trillion market here for rideshare. It won't even be rideshare at that point, it's just transportation.
But if I buy a self-driving car and I put it into rideshare, I get to keep 80% of that revenue.
Right.
So Uber has the same issue, right? Yes, their gross revenue was 115 billion, but
But you're
100
also
million went to
you're also
drivers.
taking all the costs. You're paying all the costs out of your end.
Correct, but still, Uber's margins are very-
Uber's making money,
$15 billion
and
$20 billion.
they're
a year.
making money, and they have to pay the drivers and everything.
Correct. After that, what do they make? That's the key.
They make a lot, even on human-driven rideshare. Now, obviously, you don't have to pay the human. You have a dramatically lower rate of crashes, so the insurance gets cheaper. You don't have to own or service any of these vehicles.
So who has to pay for insurance?
What do you mean?
The owner or Tesla? Because the liability is Tesla's,
What, you
right?
mean for rideshare?
Now, once the self-driving cars are out, cars without steering wheels and accelerator and brake, so they're out. Who's taking the owner responsibility of accident? Car making a mistake.
The insurance will just be covered in the cost of FSD.
But I'm guessing Tesla will be insuring the whole thing, not the individual owner.
Yeah, you'll just pay for FSD. You won't have to pay for insurance. Right now, Uber just pays for the insurance and then they put it in the price of their ride.
Correct. My guess is that car is going to be a subscription, not a price. So when you say $25,000, I'm probably saying, hey, it could be $25,000 plus, $500 a month for FSD, or $0 but $1,500 per month for FSD, So essentially, they're gonna figure that out on the average life of the car. Let's say it's 5 years. So if you want to put $0 down, you can have the car with FSD just like a lease car, and you don't have to pay anything. And most people will have no reason to own it anymore.
Right. It'll essentially be able to just pay for itself. It's just how much do you want to share it? How much do you want to use it versus how much do you want to send it out? And if you are willing to share it enough, depending on where you live, if there's a market, then you may not have to pay anything for it at all.
I'm not sure how much I would want to share my car.
Yeah. But if you didn't want to share it, then you wouldn't have to. You could just have the cyber cab in your garage and use it for personal use.
You think they'll have 4-seaters?
Well, they have 4-seater vehicles already.
No, I'm saying under the full FSD, unsupervised. Because right now the one they demoed, the Cybercab, was only 2 seats.
Cybercab is just going to be 2 seats. That's really focused on rideshare. So if you want more than 2 seats, you can get a Model 3 or a Model Y or a Model S or a Model X.
With unsupervised FSD.
Yeah, those will come with unsupervised FSD too. And there will probably be versions for sale with no steering wheels and pedals too, of those cars.
Honestly, if they take out the steering wheel and the brakes and the pedal right now, and they put a joystick here, that would be equally good, right? Because, you're hardly using it now. So, give that space back to the occupants. Put a joystick, the top button is the brake, acceleration is leaning forward, whatever.
I don't even think it's going to need a joystick.
Then what? No, I'm saying for now, until you get to unsupervised.
There is no for now. I mean, look. We turned this thing on in the garage. And it's been driving us here. This is the worst it's ever going to be. In terms of designing a new vehicle that's going to take a year or more to get out,
That's true.
it doesn't need a joystick. So yeah, they have the Cyber Cab, and they also showed off the Robo Van. That one I think can fit up to 18 or 20 people. And that also has no steering wheel or pedals.
You know what we need? If Elon Musk gets to listen to this, we need Robovans for our Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
A lot of those. And he can talk to our mayor. She is really good at technology. She wants to, and she's been talking about getting buses instead of, so nobody's going to drive to any of the venues. It's going to be all public transportation. And God, it would be awesome if we have Robovans taking people from one spot to another, running 24/7, and a lot of those.
Yeah. Otherwise, traffic's going to be a nightmare.
Cost saving, plus what a way to introduce the self-driving to the world. Olympics is watched all over the world. Everything about that city gets highlighted during the Olympics. And
By 2028, self-driving won't even be a big deal.
I don't know. But you set that goal, you make that promise of delivery, then you have a deadline that you now created for yourself. You better deliver.
True.
Have you seen any improvement in range because the way FSD drives? Does it use more regenerative braking?
Yeah, it does seem to be using more regenerative braking. But I don't know. The range is so much more than I ever need that I don't really track it that closely.
I'm pretty sure they optimized it for that, right? The speed and everything else.
I don't know if they did or they didn't. Right now it's in hurry mode. So I would think it's probably optimizing less for range and more for hurry.
Uh-huh.
But the chill mode is probably pretty good for range.
Why did the car not go in the carpool lane?
I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I've seen that issue with my car too. It prefers not to be in the carpool lane, despite the fact that I've asked it to be in the carpool lane. And if I put it in the carpool lane myself, it tries to get out at the next opportunity.
Well, yeah, there's a checkbox.
I know, I've checked it.
Yeah.
It still does it. I think it's trying to save money when the traffic on both sides is equally good.
I don't know about that. Yeah, so mine's saying use HOV lanes.
Yeah, mine
don't avoid
says
tolls.
too. Mine says too.
So we'll see. Maybe it'll get in, maybe it won't. I think with 13, it's trying to use a more holistic decision-making process to decide if it makes sense to get in the carpool lane. Because there is some cost associated with it too. Not, financial cost, but then you're kind of stuck in there. You might not be able to exit all of that. Right now, it doesn't seem like the carpool lane's driving that much faster, but when I was driving down to San Diego, there were definitely some moments where I wished it would get in the carpool lane.
It didn't?
It did sometimes, but other times it wasn't getting in when I wanted it to. It could also just be that it feels that it's, challenging.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't feel confident in just, getting in with the faster moving traffic.
I also think the animation here is much smoother
Yeah.
than my car.
Hmm. Definitely.
Look at this guy. Half here, half there. Whoa. This is LA, guys. You think your city has crazy people? We are the mecca of crazy people drivers.
That's nothing compared to the stuff I see
Yeah.
every day.
San Francisco is even crazier.
No.
No?
No. I mean, the streets are crazier,
That's what
but
I meant,
everybody's
street.
sane. No, if you drive crazy, you'll go flying off a hill. Here, people are just angry.
LA?
Yeah, they're angry. They're in traffic, so they just start doing crazy things.
That's so true, especially in west side of the city. It's just all these entertainment industry related people. They just they're not getting the role, and then the traffic is so bad.
Yeah.
How old is your car?
I think I got it in June, so 6 months.
Ah. Did you have a black Model 3 before?
That was the first one I got.
Oh, very first one.
Mm.
Wow. I never owned a black one. I owned a gray and white, mostly.
Yeah, black looks nice, but it also, shows a lot of stuff.
Dust.
Yeah, anything, You have someone who washes your car regularly, so it'll look good.
Most people don't know this, that there are many people in Los Angeles that just simply don't drive on the freeways because of freeways are bumper to bumper traffic, high speed, people driving crazy, and a lot of people get anxiety attacks, sweaty palms, and all the kind of stuff, when they see this many cars and that speed and all of that. So it's not easy for anybody to drive in LA on highways, leave alone streets, surface street even crazier. But FSD does not really have geofencing like Waymo has. Waymo in LA, but it's really in the area where the traffic is not that bad, right? So the fact that the Tesla does have the courage to say, oh yeah, you're in LA or wherever you are, I don't care, you can drive, the car can drive, that says a lot. Because now I'm thinking about, okay, what about cities like Nebraska and Oklahoma and other places where the traffic is like a fraction of what we see in LA.
Right.
You could literally roll out Cybercab there tomorrow and it would do fine. Because there's nobody there. Those freeways are empty.
Maybe. I mean, they're getting close, I think, to being able to launch it everywhere. But yeah, for those people who have anxiety getting on the highway, this thing can change their life today.
Correct.
It just makes it easy for them.
Oh, finally into carpool lane. I wonder what the decision process was there.
I think it saw it had a good opening, and there's still several miles to go, and the carpool lane's going faster. I would have liked it to get in earlier, but I do like that it's making a more holistic decision process, whereas before, it would just get in the carpool lane right away. And sometimes that wouldn't make sense. So I think you do kind of have to think about it. You don't always want to get in the carpool lane. It's really when you've got a long drive to go and the carpool lane's actually moving faster. Sometimes it would get in the carpool lane when the carpool lane was actually moving slower than the main travel lane.
What I found interesting, it decided to get to the carpool lane towards the tail end of that cut that it had to get into the carpool lane. And when it realized it was running out of space, it did a little bit of abrupt lane change. And that was a little uncomfortable. But
it didn't need to be so dramatic.
Yeah.
To avoid, driving over that line a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But sometimes it may think like, that line could...
But I've seen, like when I was going over to your house on the Crenshaw Boulevard exit, it waited until it was 0.4 miles from the exit. Then it drove across the double white line, which you're not supposed to cross.
Interesting.
So I think maybe that's the reason why they're telling it not to get in the carpool lane as much. It seems to be having some issues with this line that you're not supposed to cross.
Of course.
It sometimes, I think, well, first off, I think, it is actually something I want, that it should be able to cross that line if it's a matter of missing the exit, yeah. It seems like maybe that's an area that they need to train it a little more on.
But there's a cut right before the Crenshaw exit. But that cut is a little too late. It's like 0.3 miles. No, it's 0.3 miles, I think.
No, there's one a mile away.
Yeah.
So it should have taken that.
The one before Hawthorne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it seems to be having some issues with carpool lanes, but pretty minor complaint. You can always obviously just push the arrow and get it to go into the carpool lane when you want. So this is the giant new Tesla delivery center they just opened. I haven't seen it yet. I'm interested to see.
Well, that's just deliveries. They don't have a showroom then.
I don't know what they have there, but it's a huge location. It used to be a Costco, and I think they bought the location from a Costco. And they turned it into a Tesla delivery center.
Interesting. Displace Costco. It's like Nvidia, displacing Intel on Nasdaq. The new big players. By the way, I had that issue with my car when I was selling it. I couldn't factory reset it. I took it to the service center. The guys there were amazing.
Yeah.
2 minutes, they fixed it. Boom, I'm back. Sold my car, done.
Yeah. Yeah, the service is getting really good now.
Yeah,
they can usually fix things within like 30 minutes.
I told the guy, do you need my keys? He said, no, we don't need keys.
Yeah. When you drive onto the property, the software automatically notifies them. So then a service representative comes out and says, oh, hey, it's so-and-so. They know your name already, just from you driving onto the property.
Interesting. Beautiful day in LA. Look at how clear it is.
Yep.
And we have done a wonderful job, guys, in getting rid of the smog. This used to be an area where I could actually see the smog very clearly, but now you can barely see it.
Yeah, cars are getting much more efficient. There's a ton of EVs on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still a lot of smog, but things are getting better slowly. You definitely see a lot of Teslas on the road. That makes a difference. Really nice high-speed curves, completely comfortable.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Is this making you excited to upgrade to hardware 4?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to have 13.2 or 3.
Yeah, it's like magic. For years we've been waiting for the software to work this well, as it's working right now.
Well, there's a bunch of people on Twitter, which is now X, that I would say their name should be in the Wikipedia for make it FSD possible, and you're one of them, obviously. I know how the excitement when V8 came out, then V9, V10. I remember V10, middle of the night. Oh my God! You know, like everybody, you went live on that, and V11. And Elon Musk said we have reserved V12 for full FSD, and then V12 came out, and now V13. It's like, oh my God, what's next? But the fact that people like yourself and many others went on a limb, literally risked their lives in.
There was no risking of lives.
Well, you didn't know. I mean, you were not in charge of writing the code. Somebody else was.
Yeah, but we were there. We could take over anytime.
You could, but at the same time, sometimes, at this.
Okay, look at this.
Yeah.
It's trying to get out, but
Double yellow.
there's a double yellow, and it's 0.3 miles from the exit.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same thing again.
It's going to get out anyway. It's not going to care. That's LA driving. Thank you, guys. That's how we do it in LA. We don't care. Oh my God, I love it. That's the kind of drivers we need here. You gonna wait? Are you kidding me? Did we just miss?
Yeah, I missed it.
Ah,
It was a good effort, though.
very good effort. Very good effort.
It was because if that car hadn't been trying to pass us, then it would have been
Yeah.
fine.
No, I was hoping that there will be a break in the double yellow. There was none. Then at some point in time, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna actually go ahead and do it.
Yeah, should have done it earlier.
So now it's
But also, it shouldn't have crossed
now
that
it's
line.
going to 118 east. Why?
It determined that's the fastest way to get there.
That makes no sense. Should have taken Roscoe Boulevard.
Well, the delivery center's over there. It decided that's the fastest way to get there.
Probably is. Although I'm not sure. I don't know this area that well.
Mhm. Another thing that was good is it didn't do anything crazy as it missed the exit. It just realized that it couldn't make it, and it just didn't try and take the exit. Past versions would sometimes, try and fail. It's good to recognize when you just can't make it and just continue ahead and reroute.
Exactly. If I'm a passenger in an Uber and I don't know the city and Uber driver's taking me, he missed the exit, he took me to the, I won't even know, right? As long as he gets me to the destination within the estimated time,
Right.
which is what this car is really doing.
Yeah.
In 1.1 miles now, it's going to take Highway 180, and it should be getting into the right lane very soon. It sometimes forgets that LA is crazy traffic. It's not like other cities, bumper to bumper.
It's okay. It doesn't care. It's going to be able to make it just fine.
I would say yes, but it did miss the exit, so that was...
Yeah, but did you see how it got over there in 0.2 miles?
Yeah, it should have done it sooner, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you saw the capability to cross the entire freeway in 0.2 miles.
My thing is that if I were to train it, I would train it to start in LA type of traffic, start 1 mile earlier, not even 0.5. 1 mile.
It almost never misses exits.
No, I
ever.
understand, but it does pretty drastic 5-lane changes.
Yeah,
So-
my point is, you saw how quickly it can exit the highway if it needs to.
True.
So it's very unlikely for it to ever miss anything. That was probably the first time I've ever seen it miss an exit, and it just barely did, because there was, some guy blocking our way, and it got stuck in the carpool lane. I think that's the reason why it's not getting into the carpool lane as much, is because they're having some issues with exiting the carpool lane.
Ah,
But anyway, it's not really a big deal. It just rerouted,
I
and
do
it was
hope
fine.
that better thinking down the road on this situation is implemented into its training models. That's the whole point. That's why we do this.
Well, I think it's worked pretty well in the past. So these are like just minor things you find with the new version.
Shortest route would have been Roscoe Boulevard, the next exit, and a right turn and another right turn. But
You don't know that. You don't know what the traffic would have been on Roscoe Boulevard.
Sunday morning,
It decided this was the fastest way to get there.
I think it just said, let me figure out what the hell happened to me, give myself enough time to come through a different route.
No, it's just following the navigation system.
Yeah, that's what
The navigation system said this is the fastest route.
That's what I'm saying. It's a navigation system issue, not.
There
not
isn't an
FSD.
issue. I think this was actually just the fastest way to get there. It's always faster to stay on the highway, even if you're driving a little bit longer, rather than get off and stay onto the surface streets.
Yeah, but it's still going a lot on Surface Street, a lot more than Roscoe Boulevard would have been. Think about it this way: Roscoe Boulevard was this street right here, next to it, next to that black dot.
What the navigation system is telling it to do is a completely separate issue. The self-driving model is just following the instructions.
Correct. No, I'm not saying. I'm not questioning all of that. I know that. All I'm saying is that we know from our experience that this choice by navigation system was bad.
I don't know. I think it might have been the right choice.
No way. No way on the earth.
Why?
Because 0.2 miles was Roscoe Boulevard, and it just drove another 7 miles, 3.5 miles to take 118, another 3.5 miles to go on Highway 5. It just wasted a lot of its driving and distance and battery.
It thought that was the fastest way to get there.
Thought
You have multiple route options, see?
Yeah.
I can pick what route option I want, but that was the fastest way to get there.
Anyway. Hurry mode is really hurry, for sure.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like having a good driver who's not slow, who's not fast, but who's just good speed that you feel like I'm gonna get there in time. I'm not wasting my time on the streets.
Yeah.
Exit time. Finally.
I think you're just too excited to get your new car.
I am excited, yes. I love it. Why did the fan go high? Did you put it on high?
I don't know. It just decided it needed to blow faster to maintain the temperature.
Oh, because the sun was hitting us.
Alright, we're almost there now, just 2 minutes away. Let's see this new delivery center.
When are you gonna get your car Cybertruck wrapped?
I don't know. I just booked it. But I didn't schedule an appointment date.
What did they charge you for it?
Nothing.
Really? Oh, because of the credits?
It was $5,000.
Today there was an ad in the Wall Street Journal when I was reading it.
Mm.
Tesla wrapped $3,900 of it. They were giving 31. They were giving $2,000 off on Rapid. So 3,000. It's like wow, some private company, but they wouldn't take the Tesla credits.
Yeah, of course not.
Okay, we're gonna make a right very soon here.
There we go. I see it. Tesla.
Yeah, big Tesla sign. There you go. Make video. Oh. Tesla. Oh, wow. It knows that it has to get in here. Wow, this is really nice. Big facility, lots of Teslas. This is probably the country's biggest Tesla delivery center. And I might be one of the first few customers.
Not first few. I mean, they have a lot of customers here.
No, I'm saying in terms of starting, because I was scheduled at the old one until like yesterday or day before. They messaged me, this is sorry we moved it to this because that's we're closing the Burbank one. I was like, great, wow, this is perfect, thank you. Dropping me here, good drive. Point to point.
And now I put it in park. So
Wow.
from the driveway to the delivery center, didn't touch anything.
Unbelievable.
Did miss one exit, but we'll forgive it for that. All right,
Yeah.
thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah.
Time to take delivery.
Yep.